Hi, I'm Alicia from myworkbasket.com. I've been leading a crochet along with my website using Tunisian crochet. We're actually on the third week of our crochet along. I've so far shown the Tunisian simple stitch and the Tunisian cross stitch. And today I'm going to be showing you the Tunisian knit stitch. So far of the blocks we've done, this is my favorite stitch. It's such a trickster. When you look at the front, you're just going to be like, that looks like knitting. However, it's much cushier and thicker because it also has kind of a thicker back to it. This stitch would make a fantastic washcloth because it has the nice smooth side and the good scrubby side. So if you're into making washcloths, I really suggest this pattern. This square is 25 stitches and 25 rows, and it comes out fantastic sized in my opinion. If you're joining me for the crochet along, I'd really like to thank you. Please really do message me if you have any questions at all, or if you're stuck with any part of any pattern. The same goes for my other patterns as well. If you're following any pattern I've ever posted, I'll help you out. If you're not in the crochet along, it's not too late to join. It'll be going until the end of October in 2017. If it's after that, you can still jump in. The videos will still be around. Everything will still be there, and I'll still help you if you get stuck on anything. Also, if you're not following me for the crochet along and you're just using this video to learn how to do the stitch, thanks for joining, and if you have any problems, message me. I start showing you how to do the sample. I want to show you real quick what the Tunisian crochet hooks look like. This is actually mine from the Denise interchangeable crochet hook set. So my ends actually disconnect and I can create different lengths. If you're really interested in Tunisian crochet, I love this set. Even for just regular crochet, I adore it. I use it all the time. If you don't have that set or you're not sure if you like it, maybe you want to try it out and be a little more inexpensive, this is the type of hook you'd get from most craft stores, or even if you go to a Walmart. This is what most of them are going to look like. It looks almost like a knitting needle, but with a crochet hook end. And these are actually anywhere from $3 to $5 a piece usually. There's another style which looks like a regular crochet hook and has a permanently attached plastic cable, and they come in different lengths and usually have like a little bead or something at the end to stop your stitches from falling off. Let me show you real quick our sample. As you can see on the front, it looks exactly like knitting. If someone showed you this, you'd think it was knitting. And it looks almost exactly like garter stitch on the back. However, it is much thicker than most regular knitting of the garter stitch or stockinette stitch would be. And as you can see, I'm going to make sure I show you, I really experimented and was learning different ways to do the edge. And I'm going to show you a finished edge that looks perfect. This one is not my favorite edge, but I want to show you how you do the loops actually will create a different edge over here. I think this would be a terrific washcloth because it's got the nice smooth side and this nice scrubby side. So if you like handmade washcloths, I'd really suggest this. So we're going to get started with Tunisian crochet the same way we do with any other crochet. And we're just going to make a chain. So for this sample, I'm going to chain 10. And then what you do next is the main difference between regular crochet and Tunisian crochet. So I'm going to go into not this first chain, but the next chain. I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through, but I'm going to leave that chain on the hook. And I'm going to do that in each one. So I'm going to go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, and leave that on the hook. Yarn over, pull through. You're going to do that on each chain all the way across your project. In most cases, there may be some patterns that tell you a little bit differently, but usually you're going to go into each chain across the row. Tunisian crochet uses a forward pass and a backwards pass, and so that was your forwards pass on row 1. Your backwards pass, or your second pass, or reverse pass, different people call it different things, you're going to yarn over and go through just one loop. Yarn over, go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, go through 2 loops, and you're going to go through 2 loops all the way back across your row for your reverse pass. Most of the pattern stitches are going to start with the same first row forward pass and backwards pass. So this is what makes it the Tunisian knit stitch. After every row, you're going to get these ladder stitches. For the Tunisian knit stitch, you're going to skip this. The only time you use this loop is when you're increasing your work. So any square, especially for this crochet along, you're going to skip this loop. If you split this loop apart a little bit and you see that ladder, you're going to go down through the hole between both. You're going to come out the back side, yarn over, and pull it through. And you can see it already starts to curl. So you're going to look at that ladder, go through. For the simple stitch, you go through like this, but you're going to go through to the wrong side of the work, yarn over, and pull it through. So again, here's my ladder, split up. I'm going to go through to the wrong side of the work, through to the wrong side of the work, and pull through. Go through the top loop to the wrong side of the work. Make sure you don't accidentally go through too many rows. I don't want to go through like this and come out the wrong work. You're just using one ladder stitch. So here's my ladder. I'm going to go through to the wrong side of the work and pull through to the wrong side of the work and pull through. And here at this loop at the end, this is the best possible finished edge. If you pull this to the side, you'll see this. Go through these so that you have two loops at the end. Yarn over and pull through. And that's the first pass of the Tunisian knit stitch. And you're still going to have 10 on your hook. A lot of people are liking Tunisian crochet because you have your stitches. It's much harder to get lost. Whereas usual crochet, like, do I put it in here? Do I put it in here? So this holds them on the stitch for you. Your reverse pass on the additional rows are going to be the same. So you yarn over, you go through one loop, you yarn over, you go through two loops, yarn over and go through two loops, and you're going to go through two loops all the way back across the row. Then we'll do another row for you. So you're going to skip this one. That's the increase row. You see this ladder. Go through the two, out the back, yarn over and pull through. You're going to go through the two, out the back, yarn over and pull through. And you're going to do that all the way across the row. Just like in real life, you usually wouldn't walk under a ladder. To me, this is like you're walking under the ladder. So you have your ladder, you're walking out, and you're coming out the back side. You're going to do that all the way across. And when you get to this last end, it's very important. So you can see the loops kind of facing you. Go through there, but make sure you end up with two loops on the hook. And that's going to make that look like the knit stitch also. So now we're on our reverse pass. We're going to yarn over and go through. First you go through one, and then you go through two stitches all the rest of the way across. And I'll show you another one. So you're going to go through the ladder. You're going to walk under that ladder and out the back. If you're curious about what yarn I'm using, this is the Nicole Studio Classic from AC Moore, and this color is called Baby Green. My blanket for the crochet along is going to end up with a lot of kind of pastel colors. So here when you get to the end, you see that kind of loop. You're going to go through, let me make sure I show you that really well. You're going to go through here. You're going to end up with two loops. Go through to the back, yarn over, and pull through. If you don't go through those two loops, you will create a different end. Not all of them line up quite as well as this one does. To me, this creates the most finished edge, but the other edges, they don't look terrible. They just don't look quite as good. One of the things I'm loving about this crochet along is that you make 4 squares of each stitch. So by the time you get to the end, you're really just kind of a pro with each pattern stitch. Our square we're going to finish off. Usually what you would do is go through the top loop, yarn over and chain. What I like to do is to actually go ahead and finish in stitch. So I'm going to go through the ladder again, pull through, but this time in order to close your square you're going to go ahead and chain through, because otherwise you get stuck with these ladder stitches at the end that just aren't as nice looking. So to end up with a nice finished square, we're going to go through and finish it off. So we're going to go walk under the ladder out the back, but then we're going to go ahead and chain through, and we're going to do that all the way across. Walk out the ladder, walk under the ladder to the other side, and you're going to do this all the way across your work. And what you're ending with is a nice finished row that's still in your patterned stitch. And once again, in this end row, you're going to make sure you go under the ladder. You're going to end up with 2 loops on the hook. And what that's doing is making that edge just that nice finished edge too. You may notice there's kind of a line right here. As you kind of do it and the square all comes together, that does fade in and you won't even notice that anymore. And then you just clip your yarn just like you always would. Pull that tail through and you have your nice little finished Tunisian knit sample. Notice that nice edge. And it does curl a little bit. And there you go. Finished sample for the Tunisian knit stitch. As you can see, even though I did the average number of casts on and the average number of rows from my other crochet along videos, it came out as a much shorter rectangle instead of a square. So if you're following the crochet along and you're doing these samples, I would suggest that maybe you add a few more rows of practice so that you can get a nice square shape. And then you can hook all your sample squares together at the end and make something like a pillow top, or my son's requested a cat blanket. All my little sample squares will become a cat blanket. And so again, I'm Alicia from My Work Basket. I'd love to have you come by the website, myworkbasket.com. I do videos like this. I share free knitting patterns, free crochet patterns. I talk about fun vintage things and vintage magazines.